What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so recently, former First Lady Michelle Obama on her podcast, the topic was brought up about, I believe they were talking about what they like to watch on television at her home. And she was saying that I think she likes to watch, programming that women tend to, or at least women of, modern era like to watch, like, talk shows, things of that nature, while the guys like to watch sports. And she said that basically, in her opinion, she doesn't see, whenever she does watch ESPN, she doesn't see the difference between a show like a female-oriented program like The Real Housewives or whatever the fuck, and ESPN. She said it's the same formula. This is what she had to say.
If I listen to ESPN for an hour, it's like watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's the same drama, and they're yelling at each other, and they don't get along. I mean, Stephen A. Smith, he's just like every other
he'd
talk
be a
show
great
host.
Real Housewife.
He would be, right?
It would be amazing.
So that's why I'm like, what's the difference? It's just, it's just sociological drama.
When I heard that clip, I said, "Oh, Stephen Smith he's going to snap back at that, especially since she's a black woman or black person, because he's quick to do that." And he did. He came back at her, and you know how he does. His way of snapping back at you is to go into a preamble about how much he respects you and idolizes you, and then he goes in for the attack. That's it. That's the Stephen A. Smith sneak attack, or not so sneak attack now, because people got the formula down. So he talked about how, pretty much how he kind of lost some respect for her during this past campaign, when polling was showing that Kamala was not doing as well with male voters, in particular black male voters, and how she kind of threw a lot of black men on the bus for not voting for or not supporting Kamala Harris. And the thing about it is, like I sort of predicted, I said at the time, a lot of these guys are going to feel that pressure, and they're going to switch over probably within the last 2 weeks, and they're going to vote for Kamala out of pressure. But I still think that the numbers are going to go down historically from what we've seen before, and that's what we saw. I think, if I remember correctly, Kamala got about 79% of the black vote. No, I take that back. She got, I think the figure was 86% of the black vote. She got about 86%, 86% of the black vote, and about 79% of the black male vote. So a lot of them did come back and vote for Kamala. However, if you remember, Joe Biden at one point in time was only getting 6% of the black male vote as far as support. So black men did actually come back and vote. I wasn't one of them. I voted for Dr. Cornel West. But look, let me say this. Stephen Smith has a point about that. That did piss me off with Michelle Obama. Because she was making it like black men are not supporting women, when we were the second largest voting bloc both times in voting for a woman. Hillary Clinton in 2016 and Kamala Harris in 2024. The people who they really need to be pointing the finger at, and I've said this countless times in my videos, are white women. But they don't have the balls to do that. So they pick on the group that they feel has the least amount of resistance to their bullying. You know what I'm saying? So that's my opinion on that. I've been firm on that. Michelle pissed me off with that too. But that does not have anything to do with her point. And her point is that ESPN is not really about sports. It's about narratives. It's about yelling. And she got a big point about that. It's true. If you look at ESPN programming, since, the John Saunders of the world have passed away, the Stuart Scotts of the world have passed away, since the old guard of ESPN have moved on and gone on to radio, and it became the network of Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, yes, the quality of ESPN went down, and there was an increased feminization of the network. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. It's about ratings. It's about confrontation. It's about bloviating. It's about appearing to, we've already heard and read about these fake debates they have up there, where it's already preordained how the debate's going to go, whose side, one person's going to take, how they're going to come at each other. And they go out there back in the peak of the debate age and just pour it on for the TV, for the TV masses. It's not even a real debate, because a lot of times they don't even have the opinions and reality that they're espousing on television. And I 100%, once again, think that Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless have played a large role in this nonsense. I remember when, what was the guy name this year? I think it was this year, right? This year he passed Wayne Gretzky in goals. I forget his name already. Yzvechkin, I think his name. Instead of making a comparison between Yzvechkin and Gretzky and other all-time greats, right? What did ESPN do? They made it about LeBron James. Why? Because they really don't cover sports like that. They cover hot trending topics. What's fashionable. I said, what the hell does this have to do with anything? Now, if you had to push me to answer the question, I would say Yzvechkin, just because of the physicality of hockey compared to the lack of physicality of basketball. But, I digress. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, she has a big point about that. Look at the emotionality, if that's a word. Look at the emotionality of the people who we have to debate against on social media. These guys get emotional and threaten you with weapons off of basketball opinion. That's surefire feminine energy. What man does that? What man, so-called man, gets into his feelings about a basketball player or a football player? Sure, us men can get very passionate when we talk sports, but you got to know when to cut that shit off. It's sports. Sports. And it's so interesting how a lot of these guys claim they don't give a shit about anything else. Oh, man, what you getting so worked up about this? Man, it don't matter about who's in the White House. It don't matter what party's in control. It don't matter. It's all the same. These the same dudes that get real worked up when you talk about their favorite basketball player. Or their favorite football team. To the point where you think they're going to get up and start swinging on TV or throwing a fit in Zoom calls and group meetings about this topic or that topic on sports. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.